I think also there is something that we both kind of talk about also, is this kind of the idea of even at the scale of the student, this kind of regime of visualization. These, when we were studying, the, even the second year or the third year projects, there was the class of 80 would find a sort of way in which a drawing is made and rendered, with or without computer, for that matter, in the early years without computer, and subsequently with. And then we see these very sort of fashion trend kind of appearances, like in this today's case, you can say it's this post digital rendering, something like that it's called. You put these textures in flat on the
Blendage.
surfaces, and then you give a lot of disturbance to the textures, and how you go about it. So is there something to be said about this kind of trending hashtagging of going back to the earlier thing that you were talking about, like because architecture is slow, but हमें कुछ करने के लिए चाहिए, that sort of a thing. Does it come from that frustration?
I think that every discipline is going to have its own sorts of ticks. The drawing is the architectural one. We love drawings. It's our thing. And I love drawings too.
Yeah.
Beautiful. It's gorgeous things. Not just, I mean, they are full of this. There's beauty to those. All kinds of drawings. I think there's also something so desperate about a drawing that there is reality. It exists. It's all its complexity, and the drawing is desperately trying to capture it on a plate. It's like it's almost sad that it's bound for failure. What I like about drawings is that of the kinds of drawings I like is that they accept the failure, and what they do is that they try and make the best. They use the abstraction of the representation itself as a mode to narrate something particular about the world outside. So I love that tension that's always in the air as far as the drawing and the reality. The tension between them is always very, very interesting, I think. What has and yeah, there are, unlike most other commodities, the architectural drawing also has a certain things come in fashion and go out of fashion, and there's always a cycle as far as that is concerned. I'm not too concerned about that. That will happen. What is more interesting is that the way in which one can think about the way in which one can deploy drawing.
Mm-hmm.
Like how does one choose to draw a particular thing? When we do our study trips, that's always a big discussion.
Mm-hmm.
What is the right mode of drawing? When we went to, do you know about Chakrata, the study trip that we had done? No, you probably don't.
No, that one, I think by then I had already graduated.
It was very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. I mean, with every study trip, actually, after your class, we explored new kinds of
Techniques
drawings.
of drawing, yeah.
Drawings, yeah.
It was a very important thing. When we went to Braj and we did the Parikrama drawing, we chose miniatures actually as the mode, miniatures and Nilima shape drawings, paintings. But when we went to Chakrata, I was really pissed, okay, because we had done Lucknow and we had done Allahabad, beautiful cities, lovely architecture, certain scale. And then one of our faculty members said we should go to Chakrata. And Chakrata is like a bunch of villages with vernacular architecture. And I was like, oh no, we are not going to become Sept again.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow. I hate the fetishization of that damn vernacular building. I think as if it is representative of something truthful and honest.
Yeah.
It's really.
Sadgi.
So, like
Kenneth
itna
Frampton.
because I don't think it's true only. And besides which, it kind of really imagines a certain kind of purity that I have a serious problem with. Because to imagine that Indian villages are pure would be in many ways to deny their caste and their gender issues.
Or many other, I mean, gangs of Wasipur.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, I was so pissed off. But I was like, but they said, nahi, abhi jana hi padega. So I was like, theek hai, we'll go. But I thought what we'll do is that we'll take the word vernacular and we will break it open. What is the vernacular? So we said that the vernacular is actually the vernacular comes from what language people speak on the ground. That's as simple as that. It's not that's as simple as that. No? And if you think about languages we use in everyday life are constantly morphing and changing. Simple. So what we thought we'll do, and they're morphing and changing because of different influences in space and time. And in Jakarta, those villages themselves are always morphing and changing because they live in one village in the summer and another village in the winter. Literally, the community. They're always moving. So what we thought we'll do is that really start looking at the relationship of architecture to everyday life. But it is a measure drawing. Second year. And measure drawings tend to really fixate on wall sections and all of that stuff. Very, very much object oriented. So what we decided to do is that say that theek hai, measure drawing to karenge, but what we'll do is that we wanted to look at the rhythms of everyday life and space and time movement. Na? And we felt that the best example for that is a comic book actually, because comic books do that. Comic books are able to collapse space, collapse time, stretch space, stretch time. So we said that what we'll do is that we'll make a drawing that splices together comic book techniques with measure drawing techniques. So we then evolved a mode of showing measure drawings, conventional measure drawings actually, the wall sections and all of the above. But every single one of these drawings is integrated with a narrative of people's lives. So what happens in a case like this is that the drawing emerges out of a question. We are learning from different types, but we are choosing what to learn because there's something in particular that we want to ask.
Oh, wow. Really, it's almost like a screenplay of a building.
Yeah, exactly what it was actually. So you're able to see like if there's wood, then where does the wood come from, where the forest is, and how it is used. So it's all of that stuff, but it's all through measure drawings.
Yeah, the
Axonometry
technique itself sounds amazing. Yeah.